So this next section is something that I'm insanely excited about. It's one of the things I was most excited about in this entire museum. And this is what we have. A baked bean ball pit. Hello and welcome to Hello, I am Clutch, where I am here today in Kansas City on the Missouri side to go to the Museum of BBQ. Yes, they have a whole museum dedicated to barbecue. Now, I'm really excited because I've never been here before, so I'm excited to take you along with me today as we check out what do they have inside here. I think there's some history of barbecue. I think you can learn different styles. I think there's some fun interactive bits. I think there might even be some smells. So anyway, come along with me as we go figure out what's inside the Museum of BBQ. So right before I go in, I do want to point out that this is in the Crown Center in Kansas City, so it's kind of like a mall complex. It's a little hard to navigate at first with the parking and such because it's just the way it's shaped. But anyway, you're at the end of this hallway. There's a big department store called Halls, and then it's right there. Once you see it, it's obvious, but it took me a second to find it, so I'm just trying to help. All right, we got our tickets, $10 a ticket to get inside, and the wife will open up and take us in. Thank you. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Immediately you're in a butcher shop with things to chop and interaction, things to do. There's tips and tricks. This is great. This is already like very layered. What's the word I'm looking? Detailed? Textured. Textured is what I'm looking for. So let's go around and check out this whole museum of barbecue. So going right back to those tips and tricks of the trade, something that I think is already neat is there's like an interactive bit of element where you pick up the phone and you get to push these buttons and then you get to listen to different like pit masters, barbecue experts talk about tips and tricks of the trade. It's as advertised. Moving to the butcher shop, they have actual aprons you can put on and a little carving station, and you can actually go in the back and like, look at this. You can actually like go into here and you can grab these and then you can chop them and you'll be like, that ham hock needs to die. Welcome to Clutch's Butchery, where we butcher all the things. I have no good sanitary etiquette. Anyway, we have meats, we have sausages. Watch the hand, watch the hand. God, this thing is really dull. It doesn't do anything. I mean, let's see what else we got here. We got a weird colored Tootsie Roll. I don't know meat. But then next we have barbecue's origin story. Where did barbecue start? Well, it started with, we ate the whole thing. They have a whole bunch of interesting history here. Like, usually with my museum videos, I'm not gonna just read it all to you. You gotta come here yourself, really experience it. But I love the fact that they have it on like the butcher paper there to like show all that kind of stuff. I think that's just great. But yeah, this talks about like, where did the idea of barbecue come from, how to get here, some of the different styles, and it is, hey look at this, we got a clutch pun, terms of endear meat. But seriously folks, this is actually going through like some of the terms that came from like barbecuing, like the phrase marbling, shiner, but my big one that I like is that the idea of meat sweats, because definitely when you have good barbecue, I tend to get the meat sweats, and I don't know, that's always a funny one to say, and I enjoy that they have the whole definition right here for you to say that you get a little sheeny after eating a massive meal of barbecue meats. And then here we have another great pun, the Pig-ture Perfect. So it's a big pig puzzle, but basically what I like is this interactive puzzle to help you see like what parts of the pig do the different meats come from. And my wife is very good at puzzles and helping demonstrate how it works. It's very magnetic, so that's what it is. And so yeah, I didn't realize ham is the butt, and bacon is the tummy, and hock is the hock. As you can see, a pig is quite a versatile animal because even some of their body parts, like their shoulder, is also their butt. Another fun interactive thing here, this is the good-natured ribbing. The idea here is that you can't really tell which animal the ribs are from unless you know them very well, but they have these little things, so you open up and see, what is this guy? And this one is St. Louis style pork spare ribs. And then you look at this, and this one is country style ribs. And then this one is humans. Oh God. Got a good rib tip for you. Got a good rib tip. Whoa, too much flipping. It's hard to do one hand. That was not meant to be funny. Anyway, it says most racks of ribs have between 10 and 13 bones, so if you get one with 10 ribs or less, that's called a cheater rack. Cheater rib eater. So while I still haven't figured out smell-o-vision, they do have a smell me portion here, so you get to like smell what it is and then try to guess what is the spices. Let's see if we can. I I have no idea. It's brown. It's brown sugar. It's brown sugar. Okay, let's try this one. Let's try. I'm getting nothing. This is weird to watch me to smell things, isn't it? Let me see. That's paprika. Paprika. I know that. Okay, wife is saying go to this one. Go to this one. This one's good. Right here. Okay, that's good. It's salty. A little sweet. No? Salty?
Maybe.
This is salt?
No.
I'm so bad with figuring out scents and smells. I'm getting sodium. Let's see. Chili powder. That makes a lot of sense for the sodium. That is a lot of fun, but I'm really bad at identifying smells. Continuing our barbecue knowledge journey, we come around the corner and we have a lot of reading to do. And we have wood piles over here. So there's a lot of stuff here about smokers, about the different types of smokers that you see. Offset smokers, drum smoker, bullet smoker, pellet smoker. And to smoke or not to smoke, you could just grill, you could just barbecue. But smoking, I am a fan of the smoky flavor. Even in my drinks, I like when you get a smoked drink. So definitely am a fan of the smoky style. I think that's one reason I love barbecue as much as I like, is because I do like the smoky flavor in foods and drinks and all that kind of stuff. But there's a little bit of voting here to do. You take the hearts over here and you choose. Let's see. This is fun. Well, thank you, my wife. So you take a magnet, you vote for a side. Do you like low and slow or hot and fast? I feel like if I have a choice, I gotta go with Granny here. We're going low and slow. And then in the back corner, they have all these actual piles of wood. I thought this was actually like a picture, but when I got closer, I realized it's actually wood. It's like they got the hickory, the pecan, the oak, the cherry, so you can. So this time, I'm gonna go and smell it again. Let's smell. I think that's wood. So next we have the where there's smoke stuff that talks about, again, the smoking process and what it looks like, how you have the bark on the outside, you got the smoke ring and deliciousness on the inside. But of course, because this is a fun clutch style interactive museum, we do have the smoke ring toss, where you throw the rings on the longhorns. Hey-oh! For the record, that was our first take and that was amazing. Great job, wife. Yes. So, I know we already did the smoke ring toss, but there is a whole step-by-step guide. And apparently we were following it pretty good. We grabbed the rings, we tossed the smoke rings, we did celebrate with the victory dance, but we didn't put the rings back. Oh my God. Consideration. So it looks like we entered some sort of weird barbecue meow wolf dimension. Not even sure what's exactly going on. We got this thing. I think we're getting to sauce. I think they have a lava lamp that we're here actually when they first opened, so I don't think it's fully active yet, but we have this, which I think if you wave it in certain ways, makes the sauce appear. Sauce appear. Get right here. And I've manifested the sauce. It's manifested up there and came down here to explain sauce. So we're obviously getting lost in the sauce, and so this is all talking about like the different kinds of sauce. So I guess you do have literally awesome sauce, but then you have Alabama white, South Carolina, North Carolina, Kansas City, which again, Kansas City, big barbecue city, which is why I'm partially here, and that's generally kind of my favorite style, but then also Kentucky Black, and I think it's just neat to learn about this. This is something I've talked about in other videos. What I love about museums in general is sometimes they give you everything side by side to help you understand what is the differences, and I really enjoy when I can learn about it like adjacent to each other. I feel like it makes it easier to understand how it compares, what's the difference, and this is fun. I'm really enjoying learning about all this barbecue. So this section is a lot more yellow, and it starts to talk about like how in certain states there's sometimes like different styles depending on what region you're in, and how it can be a little bit different depending on exactly where you are. And then it talks about how you have the mustard belt, which is a big thing I believe in the South Carolina area. But this is fun, this interactive thing. They got this whole like wrestling arena with mustard and sad ketchup, and obviously because this is the mustard belt, they have a mustard belt. And also, if you're confused about the mustard belt, they have instructions. You grab it, you step into the mustard ring, you figure out your best pose, and you return the belt for the next champion. Thanks, mustard belt instructions. And going around the mustard belt corner, we have just an amazing mural. Look at that mural. That is actually a fantastic mural. This looks like, I don't know a lot about the barbecue scene in Kansas City. Like, I don't know the specific places. This just looks like it's a lot of the places that are around here. This is great. I love this. This is fantastic. So something I didn't mention, but when you do get your purchase, you get a couple tokens. I guess there's a couple interactive token things. So it is, according to this, token time. So you insert one, push it all the way in, take it all the way out, and it looks like you get some hot jokes. That's what it says. What kind? Okay, let's see what we got here. Rib ticklers, because it's a hot joke. So what do we got? What's the difference between a dad and a grill? A grill runs out of gas. But dumchi, got another one for you. Why should you never use a grill on your roof? Because the stakes are too high. Wah, wah, wah. So this next section is something that I'm insanely excited about. It's one of the things I was most excited about in this entire museum. And this is what we have. A baked beanball pit. Okay, gonna go in the beanball pit. I'm way too old for doing this. Beanball pit, here we go. Whoa, that's squishy, that's squishy. All right, beans eye! Oh, jeez. I'm gonna make a beanball angel. Yes. Oh, these are the beans' knees in here.
This is Clutch trying not to drown in beans.
It's like quicksand for beans. So just to show you across from that bean pit, this is all about meeting Barbecue's best friend, beans. So this looks like it's really showing you about Bush's beans. There's actually something exciting to me. There's a whole museum dedicated to Bush beans that is in the Gatlinburg area. I hope to get that to someday. Wow, I can't even talk. I hope to get to that someday. And like, it just tells you a little bit about like the favorite side of barbecue, beans. And something else that I like here is you can talk to Duke. Let's see what Duke has to say here. Duke, what do you have to say? There's Duke. It's kind of scary because this is a dog who can talk. Can you hear this? That's for you?
Types of barbecue, from pulled pork to grilled chicken, smoked brisket.
Really, we should be going, wow, a talking dog. Well, Beanball Pit, it has been grand, but you should have been here. Anyway, moving on finally to the next section, we have the part where that's what I'm sausage about. I don't approve of that pun. So this next section seems to be talking specifically about Texas and how there's a lot of course, beef in Texas. There's apparently 4 different styles. It's talking about like how there's many sides that people like in Texas here. And also something I like because basically when I go to a barbecue place, I get brisket as my first try every time. That's how I personally judge a barbecue place. And I like that this tells you how you should order brisket so that you understand like there's different things you can ask for and different like all brisket, even an individual thing of brisket is not treated equally. I do not know a lot about barbecue, but I know I like brisket. And still in that Texas section, they do have a recommend station, which I like. Another cute little interactive where you can say if you got a favorite barbecue spot, you can share it. You take a little card here, little order up thing, and you put it on there, and then you could read. So like even around here, let's see what we got. Some people say going to Slaps Barbecue. I've heard that's a good one here. In Des Moines, Smokey D's, Ashland, Nebraska. Just says, you know, smoked prime rib. Doesn't say a specific place. Casey Joe's, that's actually a place that I'm hoping to get to. Oh, it's blurry. I should make it not blurry. And I'm hoping to go to Casey Joe's. That's I've heard is one of the best barbecue places. And then over here, Goldie's Barbecue in Fort Worth. And so I'll say something that I recommend. I don't have a video of this, but if you go to Houston, Texas, one of my favorites is the Pit Room. The Pit Room is one of my favorite barbecue places more specifically, Houston. Houston, Texas has the Pit Room. Delicious. Moving on from Texas, we have Kansas City. Here we come. We're actually already there. Anyway, this room looks like it's talking about the Kansas City barbecue scene. And there's a big TV that you can watch, learn a whole about that kind of stuff here. And behind us, I think we have one more interactive thing that is, again, you get 2 tokens. One was for the joke, and one, it looks like, is for these things. I'm looking at Russell Stover candies. Not sure why I get candies, but let's get some candy. So this won't be as surprising as the joke, as obviously we can see exactly what we're gonna get, but it's still fun to put a token in a machine and get a treat. And did we get the treat? Success. upon closer inspection, this is actually interesting. This is not just a random chocolate. It's molasses chew, so it is barbecue adjacent. I love that. That's amazing. Okay, so I don't normally like to show me eating on camera, but this feels a little bit special. So that's the molasses chew, and then I'm not gonna. It's very chewy. It's chocolatey. It's very chewy. It's molassesy. It's delicious. That molasses chocolate was delicious, but it was incredibly, incredibly chewy. It took me like 4 minutes to get through that little piece there. But anyway, I just want to kind of look at this a little bit closer because there is some really cool stuff here. So this talks about how you probably have heard of KC Masterpiece. Some people would argue that's like not necessarily the best barbecue sauce, but probably one of the more famous barbecue sauces out there. And it was started here in Kansas City by a child psychiatrist named Rich Davis. But something I like here, this little interactive, they have something called Mush Up, the Forgotten Condiment Mashup. So this is interesting. Whoa, slappity slap. Slaps is a barbecue place here. Anyway, this was talking about how he tried to make a new condiment that was a ketchup and mustard mashup. And I do think like today, by today's standards, that's normal. We see weird mashups all the time, but back then that was unique. But the idea is, I think that like for a hot dog, a lot of people put ketchup and mustard on a hot dog, so why not just combine it? Which is fun, but I don't know how well it really worked. So this is talking about how molasses gives KC barbecue sauce that zing, and I think that's one reason I like KC barbecue sauce, or that style, much more, not much more, but probably my preference over other barbecue sauces, is that molasses flavor that gives it that sweetness. And in case you didn't know, here's a fun fact. Brown sugar is made by adding molasses to white sugar for color and flavor. And then, of course, like any good museum, you exit through the gift shop, which is also technically where we started. So you may have seen in the corner of that last shop, but right away they have like some neat hats. I like these museums. Barbecue has KCMO to let you know it's on the Missouri side of the KC. So $25 for the shirts that are down here, shirts, and $20 and $30 for the hats. It's hard to read when talk and words hard. So as we came into the gift shop, one of the guys who was working here said because we did well on the ring toss, he gave us this scratch and sniff sticker. And this is actually the best smelling thing I've had so far. And I still haven't figured out smell-o-vision, so let me try again. Just smell it. Smell it? Not working. So while they don't have barbecue to try or take home, they do have barbecue sauce to take home. Like they have so many different barbecue sauces and rubs and spices and lots of great stuff here. So like if you're really in the mood for barbecue, which this museum will absolutely get you in the mood for barbecue, they got a lot of great stuff here. But something Clutch loves is right up here. They have the world's smallest museum of barbecue. Perfection. And then over here we have some nice stickers for $4. We have some magnets for $5 and a few other fun things. You know, if you need to log your barbecues, you know, with wood, yeah, you got a barbecue logbook. And because I like the branded merch, just want to point out they got this little towel over here for you that says "Stay Saucy." And then over here they have a little doggy bandana, the Museum of Barbecue. And then over here, they also have an apron for the Museum of Barbecue. Classic. So thank you for coming with me to the Museum of Barbecue. This place was a lot of fun. This was adorable. Like, I liked some of the interactive bits. I liked that there was some smells. There was playing in the ball pits, that we got to taste something. It would obviously be fun if there's barbecue, but I can understand with the layout why there's just no actual barbecue. But I think in this shopping center, there's a whole barbecue place you can go to if you're craving it at the time. And obviously, Kansas City, million barbecue places. But anyway, I really appreciate you coming along with me. I love going to quirky museums and places like this. So if you do want to see some other fun, quirky museums I've been to, check out this list right here. Whole bunch of fun, quirky museums in there. But if you want to go on a different adventure with me, that one's a cool one too. So I hope to see you in that real soon. But until then, I will say goodbye. I am still Clutch. What? There were cool beans in here the whole time?